I was so jealous that she was speaking to spirits, but cool, my sister can talk to spirits, so at least I got a free medium.
Heidi.
I want to find a thing, and I got really into manifesting, and I got pretty good at it.
Queen
So then I was like,
manifester.
queen! So I was like, all right, that's fine. Sissy can talk to spirits, and I can manifest shit.
Hi, I'm Elise, but my sister calls me Sissy.
And I'm her sister, Heidi.
And we're your favorite psychic sisters, spilling the tea on intuitive hits, psychic moments, and the unbelievable stories everyday people experience. Because we have a secret for you. We're all psychic. Yep, even you.
So come on, sis. Grab your favorite mug and cozy up. The kettle's hot.
Yay! We're doing it again!
Oh my gosh. Welcome to phase 2, bitches.
Podcast number 2.
I'm so excited. I feel like this is more of our true authentic energy because not that the other one wasn't, but it's just now we know who ourselves are more. Like,
I agree.
We're owning it now. I mean, literally a year ago, I didn't even know I was a psychic. So we couldn't have had this podcast then.
True. Yeah. So if you came from our previous podcast, Trust Yourself, welcome back. We're so glad you came again. And if you're joining us for the first time, hi.
Let's get woo-woo.
Instead of just talking about ways we can trust ourselves, which, I'm sorry, self-help in 2026.
It's a little tired. It's giving trying too hard.
Oh my God. On Psychic Sister Tea, we are just going to cut straight to the chase and talk all about being psychic mediums and even help you develop your own abilities with many lessons along the way, because we absolutely believe that everyone has the ability to be psychic and to be tapped into a higher consciousness or to be intuitive, whatever you feel more comfortable saying. We believe you can do that. So we got you. Nothing scares us or weirds us out. Please share your stories.
Honestly, the weirder, the better. I always say I want to talk about anything and everything that you can't talk about with anyone else. So if you can't talk about this with your coworkers or, you don't have woo-woo friends, welcome. We will be your woo-woo sisters.
Please.
I think that everyone should always be continually learning.
Yeah.
This is a skill that, like you said, we believe everybody has, and we are just developing it. And we put a shit ton of effort and time into developing our own skills. So
Heidi and I are going to talk about our own psychic experiences as we continue to develop our abilities. And we're going to read your stories, your psychic stories, intuitive stories, any unbelievable story that you want to share. Trust me, we would love to read it. And along the way, we're going to have episodes that we're going to help you practice picking up on energies and spirits. I think what we're going to do is have full episodes dedicated to that, but also at the end of every episode, we'll have a mini lesson to help you practice and brush up on your intuition each week.
So fun. So fun. But before we jump into today's episode, I just want to quickly remind you, if you're not following, please hit follow, subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to this episode so that, you don't miss out on us. But also it does really help us as well as we grow our podcast. So thank you so much for your support. We love you. Okay, so let's talk.
Yes. And before we do that, I think we should cheers our new podcast, Heidi.
Okay. All right. If you have a mug, you guys, we're going to cheers together. 1, 2, 3.
Oh
Cheers.
Cheersy. Clink, clink, clink.
Clink, clink, clink.
Okay. So what are we talking about today, Heidi?
Our very first time. We're going to talk about the first time.
And get your head out of the gutter, Heidi. I know what you're thinking.
There was candles involved.
Oh my God. Yours was romantic. Mine was not.
It was.
Okay.
Oh,
no, we're not talking about that time. We are, oh God, we are talking about the first time that we found out we were psychic mediums, because we did not grow up seeing spirits run down our hallway
as much as we wanted to.
I know we did.
I think that we tried to will ourselves to see spirits and do you remember pretending that there were little people in our walls? Because we watched The Borrowers.
Yes.
All the time. And I remember vividly being in my bedroom and I stole mom's stethoscope and I put the stethoscope on the wall, and And you were on the other
I went-
side, like tapping
Yes.
and like scratching. And I knew it was you, but I did not fucking care. And like in my mind, I was like, yep, there's little people in the wall. And
Okay,
we
so
have
those were
borrowers.
not spirits we were talking to, but yes, we wanted so badly for something unbelievable to happen.
Yep. So we created it ourselves.
We did, but now we actually are talking to spirits,
Yeah.
not made up borrowers. So I think what's fascinating is that we have learned that we can all be psychics. And I like to compare it to being an athlete. Like, I truly think, yes, we can all be athletes if we want to. And some people are born naturally talented, just great athletes. Like maybe they can shoot 3-pointers at 6 years old. I don't know.
Sure.
And then some people just practice and they work at it really hard and they can be just as good as the naturally born athletes. And then there are some people that just fucking hate sports. And I get it. I totally get it. And all are okay. And I think there are some people that are naturally born athletic, but they also hate sports. So you've got a whole
like they don't want to do
array.
it.
No.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true for psychic abilities or our intuitive abilities. We all have the ability to do it, to tap in. Some of us practice harder than others, and some of us don't like it whatsoever, or we're afraid of it. And I get that. My point here is that Heidi and I are very much in the second category. We are not naturally born psychics.
We practiced hard.
Yes, we did. And now we want to just share what we've done because you can do it too. You totally can. Unless you're like the I hate sports fan, then
well, then they're
fine.
probably not listening to this podcast, Sissy.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
be real. Okay, let me go first because I like to hear myself talk.
Yeah.
So I am the younger sister, and I've always looked up to my sister with a little bit of jealousy, as little sisters do. But my sister was the one who first took a intuition class, which I'll let you get into that when you tell your story. But she did this first. And I was so jealous that she was speaking to spirits because I was like, no fucking fair. I really wanted to do that. But cool, my sister can talk to spirits. So at least I got a free medium all the time.
Heidi.
So I was like, all right, her thing is going to be mediumship. I want to find a thing. And I got really into manifesting. I did a lot of research and deep dive into law of attraction and all the other different ways to manifest. And I got pretty good at it. I was specifically good at manifesting buying and selling houses, which I didn't buy and sell a lot of houses, but I think I'm on 3.
More than most.
I like to move. I'm a Sagittarius rising. But I got so good at it and very confident in my manifestation skills. And one week I manifested our move to Maine, which included I sold our house at the exact price that I wrote down. We found our dream house. Our offer got accepted amongst multiple bids. I got an offer for the job at the hospital I wanted on the unit I wanted. And I got 2 daycare spots, which had a year-long wait list, all in the same week. I think it was all within 2 days of each other.
It was
actually
really fast. Yeah.
It was wild. It was a wild week.
Queen.
So then I was like, Queen. So I was like, all right, that's fine. Sissy can talk to spirits and I can manifest shit. But I also was really into tarot and I wanted to sharpen my tarot skills. And I've always been very energetically in tune. I could sense things in a different way than empaths. I feel like empaths kind of absorb other people's emotions, and mine was more physical, which was really weird. But I could kind of sense where things were. Okay, here's a great example. Ooh, I just got chills.
Oh my God.
So I was working as a nurse and I was in prenatal, and a lot of times all the time, you'd have to put baby monitors on a pregnant woman's belly. Yeah. And you need to know where to put them by feeling kind of the position of where the baby is. And I was uncannily good at just feeling it for just a couple seconds and knowing exactly where the baby's back was. And it's a skill that usually takes a long time to develop. And I was one of those that could do it right away. And I remember the nurses that were training me were like, oh my God, you're really good at finding these. And I was like, what? It's hard?
Oh God.
Like I just intuitively knew, I could sense, I knew where they
Mhm.
were. I could like see in my mind's eye, like the direction they were laying, and I could just find it.
That's so
That's
cool.
something that I didn't like really know what it was. I just was like, I thought everyone had that. So fast forward, then I was doing TikTok lives. I was doing tarot, just doing a TikTok live tarot because I just wanted to like sharpen that skill. And out of nowhere, I had this. First, it was a sense, like just like almost like a feeling of a presence. I didn't see anything. And so that kind of confused me because I always thought mediumship meant like in the movies where you would be like, I see dead people.
Yes.
But no. So I didn't see anything, but I immediately knew there was like a young male present, like next to me. And then all of a sudden it was like, I don't know. It was just like a whole knowing popped into my head, along with some images that kind of popped into my eye, like my third eye, kind of like when you're daydreaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this my thoughts or is this something else? I don't know. But I immediately knew I was at a wedding. And then I was brought to the front row, like at the ceremony. I was at the front row. I saw the bride up there and the groom. And I heard in my left ear in a man's voice, I had the best seat in the house. And I was saying all of this out loud on the TikTok live. And then, of course, it's TikTok live. So people are in the chat. And I see this one girl that just goes, OMG, exclamation, exclamation. And I was like, what? What happened?
What?
Do you know what this is? Because this is so weird. And I had to like wait forever for her to respond.
Typing.
Because she was typing like a paragraph, but then apparently you can't type that much. So it just like, anyways, she said that she had just recently gotten married. And not too long ago, she had a male best friend who passed. And she had the front row reserved, and there was a sign on the chair in the front row that said best seat in the house. And they had pictures of him and like all the past loved ones. I know. And I immediately cried. And she reached out to me later, and I did like more of a reading for her with him. But it was wild because I was like, as it was happening, it almost felt like I was making shit up. But at the same time, it was just like so vivid. And I'm so thankful that it was so vivid because I would have probably not noticed it had it not been that in my face.
Yeah.
But I also was then immediately like, oh my God, that was one time. That's never going to happen again. But then right after that, it was Lionsgate Portal, which is August 8th. And we, in our community, we did like a Lionsgate Portal activation, like manifestation thing. And it was only supposed to be 2 hours, and it ended up being 3 hours because we were both channeling like fucking crazy. And it was the coolest day of my life.
Like, sorry, guys. It won't stop.
August 8th, 2025 changed my life so for the better. It was great. So that's my first time. Let's hear yours.
You know what's funny, Heidi, is that you say you're a good manifester. I think you actually manifested being a psychic, being more open, being a psychic medium because you wanted it so bad.
Oh my God. Yes. I did not think about it like that, but I probably did because I wasn't like holding on tightly. Like I wasn't gripping, like I need it. I need to be one. I need to be one. I was just like, whatever, sissy's one. That's cool. Universe was like, nah, bitch, you can do it too.
That's so funny.
So you guys can manifest being a psychic if you want to.
Yeah, totally can. Yeah, my story's a little different. Growing up, we were also pastors' kids. So, you know, it was one of those things where you just understand that you have to live this life the best you can. This is your one and only life. Then you die, you go to heaven, and that's it. Well,
sure. That's what you thought.
When I had kids and my middle daughter was about 3 years old and started talking about a previous life, my entire world exploded and was flipped upside down at the same time. It was just like, what is going on? But I was so open to it. And if you want to hear the whole story, go to Trust Yourself Podcast, episode 19, I believe it is.
Do it.
It's the whole thing. Her whole story is wild.
It's so detailed, and you could like back it up with facts. So it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's nuts. Also, I think it's funny that we started a new podcast and we're telling everybody go back to our old podcast. Whatever.
Just for some things.
Just for
it's okay. Come back here.
But after that, I really stopped being a black and white girl and I started being a gray area girly. I'm like, well, what if? And I started asking all these what ifs. And I'm looking back on my entire experience growing up in the church and also wanting more, you know?
Yeah.
And also having these feelings sometimes, like you said, Heidi, just a knowing, like what we now know as claircognizance, just in your gut. You just know things that other people haven't told you yet, or you sense their emotions. And I didn't know what that was. So I just assumed it was, I guess some people call it high emotional intelligence or reading the room really well. Like I'm just hyper observant due to past experiences, right? I can recognize patterns. Well, some of that, yes, is true. But some of it turned out that, no, I can't really pick that up from a past experience. So after Nora, my daughter's story of her past life, I started doing so much research on past lives and listening to other kids' stories, also near-death experiences. It was mind-blowing.
Go down that rabbit hole. It's fucking fun.
I did. And because of that, my algorithm changed, of course. Yep. And I started getting all these advertisements for psychic medium stuff, things like that. But there was this one book that popped up out of nowhere, and it was by Fleur Lesink, who is a psychic medium, and she's very well known. And something just told me, read her book. And I did. And then something told me again, take her course. I don't have money for her course, but I did it anyway.
Of course.
And I don't know what I was thinking, because old me would never, I'd be like, why do I think I can be intuitive? What the heck? I don't need to pay money for this course.
You're too practical and literal for that.
So much. That's why I became an architect, and I knew I wanted to be an architect since I was in the 7th grade, and I didn't do anything else. So
these are facts, people. Facts.
These are facts. That is how type A I am. So it was right after 2020. And of course, Zoom was a big thing. And I didn't know anybody in this course, but we all met online. And I also thought, okay, how can we meet online? And we're like halfway across the world and I can do a reading for you. How does that work? I'm still like an open skeptic, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this class, she really got us to open up and say, hey, everyone can do this. Everyone can. And I truly believed that. And so my first cold reading with someone else, which was so great because we were all on the same page. None of us have ever done readings before. My first reading, I was so surprised that things just started popping up in my third eye. Like you said, Heidi, it kind of is like a daydream. Like, you know, if somebody says, oh, just imagine an apple in front of you, you kind of can see it, not physically there,
quote
but you can
unquote see
it in your mind. I just saw these images flash up so quickly. And I've never had that happen before where it wasn't associated to something else I was thinking about. It was just completely random. And so I just blurted out everything I saw to this woman who I was giving a reading to. And I started saying, okay, I see this little boy. He's about 5 years old. He's on a beach and he's doing cartwheels. He's got beautiful big brown eyes and brown hair. And then he just comes up to me and he smiles and he says, I'm okay now. Everything's okay. Oh. And this was like my very first reading I've never done. So I'm like, it literally came out of my mouth and I didn't even know what I was saying. And then I was kind of gazing off to the side as I was doing this. And then I turned to the computer and I look at her and she's crying.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know. This is what I saw. And she goes, no, it's okay. And I said, does this resonate with you? And she said,
the tears weren't validating enough.
Well, I don't know.
Miss, I want a signier sign.
Good Lord, that is me. Yes. But she said, yeah, this absolutely resonates, but I'm not comfortable talking about it right now. And so that was my first experience. And it was, while it was incredible, it was also traumatizing. And I felt so bad because I thought I did something wrong. And now, knowing what I know about discernment, like, yes, we can discern when we should and shouldn't give messages. But I was a baby psychic. I didn't know.
Also,
and we all signed up for the course. I mean, she knew I was trying to read her and we were both trying to read each other. Anything is game, I guess.
Right.
I felt a little bad, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
And then after that, again, like you said, Heidi, I always ask for signier signs. I'm like, well, maybe that was still a fluke. And it was just a random person. So I want to try it with somebody that I know. And I decided to do a reading for my husband, Sean.
Yes. This is so good. I love this story. As I sip my tea, I'm like, let's tell it.
if you think I am a signy or sign person, this guy is such a skeptic, but a healthy skeptic. He's like, I'm open to it, but I need you to tell me why you think it's true. Like, prove it. Anyway, he just wants to know what I was seeing. So I sat down for a reading with him and I set the intention right away at the very beginning, which I think helped a lot. I set the intention that, okay, spirit guides and Sean's spirit guides and Sean's past loved ones, please show me something that I know absolutely nothing about. Because I've been with this guy for almost 15 years. And I know a lot about him.
Yeah.
A lot. So I'm like, I just want you to show me something that I absolutely have no connection to and would never know, but he knows for sure. And again, I kind of gazed off to the side and allowed things to come in through my third eye. And what I immediately saw was Sean's grandpa and his car, which Sean's grandpa passed away before I met him. But I did know that he gave Sean his car. And I'm like, damn it, Spirit, I already know this. Come on, try harder.
Cheating.
I'm like, what? I saw the car. And as soon as I said, damn it, Spirit, then they kind of like pulled me back and zoomed me back into the back seat. And I saw these, like, I think it was tan leather seat. And right after that, I saw a hole in the back middle seat. And I told Sean this, I'm like, it looks like it's a burn mark, like it's kind of burnt on the edges and it's black and it's just a small little hole in the leather. And he goes, say more about this. And
I will give you nothing, but tell me more.
Exactly. I'm like, great. So I think it's connecting, but I'm not sure. And then he goes, how? And I think he was going to say, how did that burn get there? But as soon as he said how, I see him in the driver's seat, which it was kind of fuzzy, but I think it was him. I just had a knowing it was him. And the windows were down. And I see him flicking out a cigarette and it gets sucked it back into the back seat and lands in the seat and burns it. And I tell this to him. And as I'm telling it, his eyes get really wide. And he's like, how did you know? Yes, that is exactly what happened, which is also wild because Sean doesn't smoke anymore. And also, sorry if Sean's family is listening. I feel bad. I don't think they knew he smoked.
I forgot that he ever did. So it must not have been long-lived, but
nope.
Yeah.
It was one of those little things, in college and just want to try it out. And he burnt the hole in his seat. And then after I told him that, Sean's like, this is wild. That absolutely happened. But I feel really bad because my grandpa gave this car to me and, he told me to take care of it and I ruined it. And when he said that, all I heard in my head and I felt in my gut was just this warm chuckle, like a laugh that, it's okay. I don't even care. It's just a car. And I told Sean that and I think it made him feel a little bit better.
Good.
But that was so fun because I didn't know his grandpa. I didn't know that story. Yeah. And it was also very vivid. Like you said, these images were vivid, but they were so fast. So I knew I wasn't making it up. It was just this download, if you will, that came in and I had to trust it and say it. And so after that, it was like confirmation, I can do this. Yeah. But yet still every time I do a reading, I still have doubt come in, even though these incredible things work out. But
I mean, I don't know when that ever goes away. Like, I really don't know when the doubt goes away because it's been a year now and it's still like, there's still times where I'm much better at this now, but it used to be where something would come in and go away so quickly. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say that. And a minute later, they bring that exact same thing up. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I knew that. I should have said that. So it is, I think it's just, again, it's a muscle that you're exercising and working out specifically and training to get better, but also so that you have to trust yourself and trust that it is true. So,
yeah. And we're humans with egos. We can't help but have these thoughts.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we are just very regular people. I was an architect who lived black and white. Heidi was a nurse who healed with medicine. And yet here we are talking to your deceased grandma or grandpa and scanning your bodies for blockages and healing with loving energy. So if we can do it, You absolutely can too.
Yes, so can you.
And I kind of want to prove it to you by doing a little practice right now. What do you think, Heidi?
Challenge accepted.
And Heidi, you're going to have to do it with our listener because
absolutely.
This is going to be really fun. I think we both
my
still
God.
need to practice every time too. So
every single time we do a practice in our membership, I always practice too. And I am not always correct. So just
no, exactly.
Throwing that out there in case I totally bomb on our first episode about being a psychic.
All right. So I'm going to grab a crystal. I'm going to keep this one really simple. And if you're not watching on a video, that's fine. You can also tap in just using your energy. You don't have to see us. Let me grab a crystal real quick. Not that one. I'm going to do this one. And I am holding this crystal in my hand. And all I want you to do is first ground yourself. You can also ask for protection from your spirit guides before you do this. But ground yourself and just ask to tap into this energy of the crystal that I'm holding. See if anything pops up in your senses. If you hear something, see something, taste something, smell, any of it. The first gut reaction that comes to you.
Okay. So when you first went to go grab a crystal, I got green, really, really strong. So I want to know what the first one was that you were going to get. But now I have it's like yellow orange, like warm. I think it's something like that. But also like it's like grounded energy, it feels.
I'm so excited to share this.
Okay. Oh my God. I hope I didn't fuck it up.
No. Well, so the first one I was reaching for was actually rose quartz. So it wasn't green. But
it's not green, but it's heart chakra. Heart chakra is green.
Oh,
so if you're going to like grab a rose quartz, it's immediately amplifying your heart chakra. And I'm so tied to your heart chakra because we're like soul sisters.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, that's my workaround for how I got that one right.
Okay, good. Yes. No. Hey, you know what? It totally counts.
It counts. Okay, now what's the real one?
This is incredible, Heidi. The second one was, okay, I feel like such an idiot. I've got crystals. Hang on. I've got crystals and I don't even know the names of them. They're just pretty. I'm sorry, but it is an orange and yellow marbled-like crystal. Is it it looks carnelian?
Yeah, that looks like your carnelian. Carnelian. Yeah.
Okay. Crystal girlies, can you please
double check?
Comment? Let me know. It's really swirly with dark oranges and yellows. But yeah, and it's like grounding, right?
There it is.
You totally picked up on that.
It's the root chakra crystal.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Beautiful. So if you liked that practice and you want to challenge yourself even more, we are doing a 30-day psychic challenge, which I'm so excited about because Sissy has made 30 little videos for you of practices like these to do every single day for the next 30 days. And you'll also have access to our membership, which includes a live practice session. So you'll do cold readings with each other. It's just like Sissy explained. It's scary as hell, but when you push yourself out of your boundaries, that's when you surprise yourself. It's totally worth it. And we get that feedback of like, I kind of hated you for making me do this, but I love it also at the same time.
Yeah, we did.
Like they hate it, but it's a great way to really start to work that intuitive muscle. And by the end of the 30 days, I can guarantee you're going to surprise yourself with how intuitive and how psychic you really are. So go ahead and check that out. You can go to psychicsisterT.com/challenge, or there is a link in the show notes.
Yay. I'm excited to take the challenge.
I'm so excited. And fuck yeah, I'm doing the challenge too. Are you kidding me?
Okay, well, I hope you had so much fun. This was so fun for me.
I can't wait to do more.
So until next time, keep the psychic stories brewing.
And we'll keep the kettle on for you. Bye. That's my kettle noise.
That's your kettle.
I don't know how to do a kettle.